This is instructional video number 1 for GeoStudio 2012 SEEP-W. So when you open up GeoStudio SEEP-W, you have the option of selecting a student license or a full license. For the purpose of this tutorial, we're going to select student license. Then we have a whole option, a range of options, to select from different programs. We're going to select SEEP-W. This will bring you into our key-in analysis. We want to run our model in steady state, but it also gives us the option for running in time convergence, as well as non-steady state options. So just select steady state. This brings us to our main screen. The first thing we're going to want to do is set our scale and axes. So set units and scale. This gives us default scale of 1 to 200. So every 1 centimeter on the page is equal to 200 in real life. Next, we're going to set our horizontal accents, and this helps to set it to the center of the page. We're going to use -10 for both. Now, we're going to set up an axis. Go to Sketch, in Axes. We're going to do an elevation as our Y, and the X will do length of the dam. And we're going to put this in the center of the page, so we're going to create an X scale from 0 to 40 and a Y scale from 0 to 15. And if you just click Enter after you're done, it'll appear on the page, and then you can select Close. Now that we've set the scale, we're going to draw in our actual object. We're going to do an earth dam. So select Draw Regions, make sure you select On the Region function, and we're going to start at 0, 0, that's where our axis point is going to be. The next point we're going to do is 15 and 12. Go up there and select, just click, then over to 25 and 12. Click there as well. And then down to 40 and 0, and then back to our origins at 0, 0. Now you've created a region. This is to find the outline of our earth dam. So the next part of this section is we're going to look at now defining the materials. So we're going to go to Key In, and we're going to look at our materials. We want to define materials for earth dam. We're going to hit Add, and we're going to say this is going to be called our earth dam. And you can select whatever color you want. Let's go with brown for this tutorial. Next we're going to look at our model, and we're going to use saturate, unsaturated. It gives us options for different things. Because half the dam is going to be underwater, we want saturated, unsaturated. Go to volumetric water content. There's a ... click that. We're going to key in that first. Select Add, and we're going to add in our material is going to be loamy sand. And we're going to use the type volumetric water function data. Next, we're going to select Estimate. So we're going to use grains data. This is from the lab experiment you've conducted. The saturated volumetric water content, we're going to put that in at 0.48. Diameter passing 10 is 0.2. And diameter passing 60 is 0.3. And the liquid limit is 25.2. And then we're going to select OK. And now you've created this chart. You can click Edit Data Points. You'll kind of see different versions of how to present the data. It doesn't really matter. Just select Close, and you've now created that function. So now under volumetric water content, you want to actually go select the loamy sand that you've created. And now we're going to go to hydraulic properties. Same thing. ... We're going to add, and we're going to add the hydraulic properties of this soil. We're just going to call it hydraulic conductivity. Next we're going to go to type, and we're going to use hydraulic data point function. You're going to hit Estimate again. And there's a couple different estimation methods. We're just going to use the default saturated volumetric water function. You already created that to loamy sand. We're going to add our K, our saturated hydraulic conductivity, as 4.2 times 10 to the negative 5. And you just put e to the negative 5 and it recognizes it. Our residual water content, we're going to use a 0.15. And you're going to leave the suction ranges as default. So once again, you can hit Edit Data Points, and you can see a different function. It's fine. You can just hit Close. And next, when you're back to this main material, you have to go and select hydraulic conductivity. And now you've defined both the hydraulic conductivity and the volumetric water content. Next, you're going to go into key in the material. You're going to draw our earth dam. You just select the region, and there you have it colored. And if you want to remove it, just simply click remove, and click it, and it's gone. But for the cases we're going to use it, we wanted to assign it to earth dam. You've assigned it, so now you can just exit that. We're done. The next part of this thing is we're going to set up boundary conditions. We want to look at how the water is traveling through the dam. So we're going to actually have to start drawing lines at the water table. So our elevation of the water in this example is going to be at 8 meters high. So we're going to draw a point at 8, 0. And on the other side of the dam, it's going to be at 2 meters high. So we're going to go 37.5 and 2. Next, we're going to key in our boundary conditions. So this is now defining the region of the water pressure. So we're going to add a new hydraulic boundary condition. And we're going to call this the upper face. And I'm just going to pick a color like pink, just to highlight it. Next one, I guess we better do this first. So we're going to have our hydraulic head as being 8 meters. You have different options to select, but we're going to use head in this term and make it 8 meters. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to add now the lower hydraulic boundary condition. So we're just going to call this the lower face. And it's going to be 2 meters high. Once again, the type's going to be head, hydraulic head. And just select a different color. I'm using yellow just for this example. So now you've created an upper and lower boundaries. Now we have to actually key in this material like we did for the soil. Go to Add Data Boundary Condition. And it's on a line, and we're going to select our upper face first. Hover over that line you created, hit Enter. And same for the lower face, you just click on the line you want to select. So now you've created the upper and lower boundaries. Likewise, the soil, if you want to remove, you can just click Remove and get rid of it. And you can click Exit when you're done. So what we're really interested in, how much water is actually traveling through this dam. So we're going to draw in a flux section. So flux section 1's okay. And we'll start at the point 40, 0 and put it near the boundary 37.5 and 2. And just hit Escape to get rid of the extra line. So now we've defined the upper boundary, we've defined our lower boundary, and we've determined we want to see the results as a flux section. So now we have to run the model. So what we do is do File, and we have to save our model first. So I just pick any type of name you want to save under. I'm going to call this Video 1. And then select Save. And now we're going to run our model. So I actually have an option down on my screen, and if you don't have an option, you can go up to Windows and there's a Solver Manager, and that'll bring up your Solver Manager. Mine's already set on my left hand side. So I select Run and Start. It takes a couple minutes for it to, or a couple seconds for it to process. There's my results. I now have an 8 meter water table on one side and a 2 meter on the other. I have flow lines showing the direction of flow through the dam. And actually you can change my functions to different options to see sort of what I have. Total head is what I'm going to stick with just for now. The next thing is I want to actually see what happened down there. I want to see how much water came through. Oops. Back to total head. So I want to see what's going on down there. So I defined a flux region. Now I can actually click this button and draw the flux label. So I select the flux label and I found out there's the flux from my dam. Now also some other labels we may want is drawing contour labels. So we're going to look at different types of hydraulic pressure and just place those on there. And you can kind of just do that throughout. But overall it's showing you, the water going through the dam through the flow arrows, the different sections of the hydraulic head. That's essentially what our model is. So this is a basic version showing you, what's the flux and what's the water traveling through this earth dam. And the dotted blue line up top is your actual water table elevation through the material. And if you want to make any changes to your model, you have to click back into Define mode. And then you can go and select and modify any region. So say you wanted to extend the dam a little bit, go up and select the modify objects, and you can just drag and move stuff around. You can delete stuff, or I'm just going to go backspace just to Control Z just to get back to what I had before. And yeah, that's our model. There's the end of tutorial 1.